Alright, hello and welcome back to what should be the conclusion of Space Quest 6. We arrived here at the brain. We're going to again throw on our EVA suit. Why don't just kind of keep it on, I don't know, or at least keep it in his inventory. But it's not so hard. Grab it, put it on. There we go. And let's depart. So the first thing that we have to do is get through the meninges here, primarily the dura mater.
This is the meninges. It's a 3-layer cover for the brain. Check out the cool blood vessels.
And we're just going to pop right through that. So we're going to use this fingernail as kind of a, called a shovel, I guess. Shovel slash axe.
Slice away
pick.
with the nail, and amazingly enough, manage to cut a slice in the barrier.
Alright, so we're going to climb across the blood-brain barrier. Walk over here. And we're going to come to this gap.
Yikes. How am I supposed to jump across this one?
The answer is we just kind of do it. We'll jump across this sulcus. And he just barely can't make it, so we just kind of have to click a couple of times to pull him up. If you stop clicking, my guess is that eventually he would fall. I'm not really sure about that. I guess I never tried it.
Man, that was close.
Wonderful. All right, we've gotten across. Now, what we have to try to do is walk into kind of the background here without getting too close to these guys, which we should be able to do just fine. Let's see if that's good enough. Then we're going to take our gallstones, and we're going to throw them at one of these two robots.
You chuck a gallstone at one of the robots, causing it to think the other one did it.
Turns out these are actually rather emotional robots. We're going to throw one at the other one.
You chuck another gallstone, this time at the other robot, who also thinks the other one did it.
And then finally, hit the first one again. These two start fighting. Little rock'em sock'em robots. Sparks fly. And suddenly, they both go on the fritz. All right.
That was quite effective. That was very impressive, Roger. I'll bet that's not something you hear every decade.
All right, so let's use this little remote-controlled elevator here. We're going to head down and check out some various sections of the brain. Alright, so let's stop here. This is...
So this is the motor control center.
Alright, motor.
This
Oops.
button.
And what do we have here?
This sign says this is her pleasure center.
I think it's the same over here.
This sign
Yes.
says this is her pleasure.
Alright, let's head further down. And let's see what this says.
Interesting. The sign says this is Stellar's cough control center.
I like that they're just labeled. It's very polite of, I don't know, her brain.
Oh, this is her choice of men center. It looks a little odd.
Alright, we're going to go all the way down to the bottom. Just want to see what's down here. We could do something else first, but I want to get to the bottom. And we're going to look.
A huge pile of debris is standing in front of what appears to be some sort of passage. Light pours through the opening.
Let's try to go through.
It's too small for you to even fit your head in. Bet you've never heard that before.
Alright, we're going to go back up, and what we actually have to do is create a little space. And we aren't big or strong enough to have that kind of effect. But what we can do is have a smaller effect with a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, chain reaction. So we're going to take, ooh, I forget which one. Let's take this guy. There we go. We're going to hit the wall near the cough center. That's going to cause Stellar to cough. Head back down to where we were earlier. The deeper recesses of Stellar's brain. And this pile is shifted. And we're able to crawl through. And I guess I should have said fall through. That's what Roger did.
Ugh.
Here we have Sharpei in the form of a robot.
Ah! Even in this suit, that hurts like a... Jeez. What's going on here? And what's with that big robot?
Well, well, Mr. Wilco. I must confess to being impressed that you made it this far. You are either a very lucky man, or the classic case of how looks can be deceiving. From what I know of your history, I can't say that in this case looks are necessarily deceiving. On the other hand, I don't think luck accounts for it all either. There's definitely something different about you, Mr. Wilco.
How oddly complimentary.
I'm afraid this is where the odds catch up with you, Roger. I do hope you don't mind me referring to you as Roger. I feel we can both be on a first-name basis now, since we will soon be sharing such intimate moments. My rebirth and your death. Not necessarily in that order. I'll attend to you in a moment. I have a few more little details to finish before I transfer my consciousness into this body. Enjoy it, Roger. It'll be among the very last of your memories. Oh, and by the way, escape attempts will prove to be futile. You will be incinerated if necessary.
Alright, sounds like we shouldn't try to escape.
Jeez, what a bit...
I'm sorry. What was that you were saying?
Me? I was saying, what a bite. Yeah, I had a little trouble with some parasites a while ago down in the digestive tract, and that's all it was.
Oh, Roger, you're such a coward. Alright, so let's take a look at this machine here.
The robot's head swivels constantly to keep an electronic eye on you. The sight of the claws mounted on the turret make you wish you were wearing a Depends undergarment.
The other thing we can see here are these kind of sparking neurons, I guess.
It looks like a bundle of nerves with electrical current through them.
And what we're going to do here is something a little unique. We're going to take the metal paperclip here, we're going to touch these, and what Roger does with it is pretty fun. It's not what I would have expected happening when I click on this. He takes these loose nerves, kind of wraps them around, and turns it into some kind of Ghostbusters ray gun. sends a shock to the system and destroys Sharpei.
Wow, that was actually a great idea. Go figure.
Yeah, I kicked her butt. Just look at me. MacGyver wishes he could be me.
Don't we all, Roger?
It was bound to happen. The never-ending battle between good and evil was once again waged. And once again, good has emerged victorious.
Makes me think of the beginning of Space Quest 4 when Roger's just gloating and then almost gets killed.
And with me on its side, how could it lose?
When that time police swoop in.
Yes, once again, I have struck a blow for good over evil. It was in a... Hey! Ah! What? But I thought I took care of you.
Well, it appears you thought wrong now, doesn't it, Roger?
Sharpei reaches her creepiest form yet.
I haven't survived this long without taking precautions. The robot was just hardware. My mind still exists.
Oh, real wonderful.
I don't think he means that.
Ooh!
Uh-oh. I've been ensnared by Sharpei.
Ah!
Ah.
Hey, watch those tentacles, lady. I thought that being partially embedded in the street on polysorbate was a strange feeling.
Alright, so, I don't know, what do we have to do? We have to hit her with some morphine, maybe try to stab her with this nail? No. We have to take this fish that we've been lugging along the entire game, that's been thrust upon us repeatedly, despite our having no desire to keep it, and we need to give her this fish. And that is the final click of the game.
Fish, that's brain food.
And that is the end of Sharpei. Obviously, we missed 15 puzzle points. I'm not sure where.
All right. She actually chowed down on that rancid fish.
If anyone happens to know we might have missed, let us know.
I thought I'd never get rid of that fish.
And we're just gonna walk away, off to the side, which is not how we got down here, but it's alright. Now we gotta find our way out of Sharpei. I'm sorry, not Sharpei. We gotta find our way out of Stellar. It looks like Roger has found his opening. You can see the outline of Dr. Bello. We're gonna fly into the light. Don't go into the light. Roger is sending a little SOS signal through a pimple. Fans of Dr. Pimple Popper will enjoy this next part of the scene.
Nice shot.
At least you got it all in the magnifying glass there.
Oh, there you are.
That's still super gross. And here we are with Stellar in our I don't know, mess hall or whatever it's called.
Boy, Stellar, with all that's happened recently, I never would have imagined that we'd be standing here together.
It is a miracle, Roger. I was afraid that by the time you got my message, it would be too late. I was certain I was doomed. But you didn't let me down. What you did was incredibly brave, Roger, not to mention intensely risky. It took Dr. Bellows a lot of work to clean up after you and Sharpei. I must say, Roger, there's not a man in the universe who knows me inside the way you do.
I don't think that Stellar's given up on us.
It was a strange feeling, but I went in there all business. There wasn't a moment I wasn't thinking of your welfare.
Oh, give me a break. Let me put my boots on. It's getting deep in here.
Cheese it, pal, or I'll rip out your larynx and you won't be able to get a job doing bad voiceover work for Chinese action pictures.
Aggressive.
What did you say, Roger?
I was just mumbling to myself. You know, Stellar, there's one thing I noticed while inside you I thought I might share.
And what's that, Roger?
You eat like a goat. You really have to change your eating habits, Stellar. I saw some things in your digestive tract I wouldn't wish on Sludge Vohall. You really have to clean up your consumption act.
Let's see, we had a screw, paperclip, staple.
Yes,
A
I
coin?
I know. Dr. Bellows said he was able to fix most everything done to me during Sharpei's invasion, as well as patching an ulcer that was playing havoc with my stomach. He told me the same things.
Half an unchewed Twinkie, or Twinkoid, whatever they called it.
You might also try chewing. You had a hunk of Twinkoid wedged in your throat that would have gagged Linda Lovelace.
We'll assume that the silver filling was an accident.
Okay, Roger, okay, I got the message. Let's change the subject, shall we? Ask me where I'm stationed next.
Why don't you just tell me?
Boy, some fun you are.
Did not do a good job with the guessing game.
Sorry, I guess I'm a little grumpy. I had a real day. I had to clean the captain's log entry container. Then somebody got a nice buzz and ate rear and decided to take a wormhole ride in the Hollows suite. They hit a few wrong buttons, and the next thing I know, I'm cleaning Virgon Nebula sets and hors d'oeuvres off every wall and ceiling. Apparently, they truly did make the room spin. Boy, they spackled everything. Had to use the putty knife to chip loose some of the chunks of...
Too much detail, Roger, too much.
Roger, I'm sorry you had a rough day, but can we please change the subject?
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, I think you're gonna like your next assignment.
Really? What is it? Where is it?
Sorry, you're just gonna have to wait to find out.
Unfortunately, that waiting shall continue, as this is the end of the series, unless someone wants to pick up a series that ended 20 or so years ago. I'd be okay with it. It's actually probably more than that. I'm not really sure what year this came out. I'd have to look. Anyway, that does conclude Space Quest 6. We'll sit here and kind of let the credits run while Roger spouts some nonsense at us, and I kind of give some of my final thoughts on the game. I think this is a very fun game. It's a great addition to this particular series.
As Roger and Stellar warp off into the nebula set, many questions remain. Will Roger and Stellar become an item? How will Beatrice Wankmeister react when she hears about this new friend in Roger's life? Will Roger's voice be a few octaves higher as a result? Would they dare to make another one of these things? Only time and money will tell.
So yeah, it's definitely a
I've
good
been up to my lips in urinal pucks lately. I hope it's something different.
addition to this series. I mean, it's got a lot of goofy humor, some goofy puzzles that can be tough to solve, but absolutely fit with kind of that point and click, gather everything, see what
Who
works.
wrote this crap? Oh, yeah, Scott. Yeah, well, yeah, then good work.
I think it would have been better if the series had continued. It's kind of disappointing that Beatrix just sort of gets dropped and has no role in this game after being so important in the last two games and seemingly important in Roger's future. And then to turn it into a bit of a triangle is interesting, but obviously we don't get any kind of answers on it.
Did you hear about the animator who killed himself? Yeah, he couldn't draw his own breath.
Dark, very dark. Yeah, I think one of the women in Space Quest 4, when you went forward in time to either Space Quest 9 or Space Quest 12, I forget. I think it was Space Quest 9, was, brunette, looked like she could be similar to Stellar. As a version of this series that could advance to the point where they make a Space Quest 9, and that's who those
These, by the
two
way,
are.
Credits. They're called credits because, well, we can't afford to really pay anybody until more people buy the game.
The blonde one could have been Beatrix, and the brunette one or dark-haired one could have been Stellar. But ultimately, kind of none of that ever got built to with the series ending. So that part is a little disappointing. Otherwise, I mean, Stellar's a good addition. It would have been nice if, she had appeared somewhere earlier in one of the games, even just a little brief cameo, so that we could have some tiny relationship between the two of them before she just sort of suddenly appears in this game to save Roger. Otherwise, I mean, a couple of the puzzles are, I said some of them are weirdly difficult, which is fitting. Some of it, though, is just kind of unnecessary, like
All these people worked on this dumb game?
like the picture triangulation thing. I mean, it doesn't really do anything. There was no puzzle there. You just kind of click and it's done. It's not quite as much fun that way, but that's all right. Otherwise, I think we'll just kind of let the credits roll. I don't know what's going to be coming next, but once we get to the end, I'll kind of end things. But either way, hope you enjoyed, and with whatever comes up next, see you next time.
Thank you, bye-bye. 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 That's it, bye-bye. No more, bye-bye. That's it, all finished, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Roger.